The American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
Enough of the emails. Let's talk about the real issues facing America.
I love you can hear Hillary Clinton. You know, me too. Anyway, welcome back to Harp. Well, that was, of course, Bernie Sanders at last month's Democratic debate. Well, earlier this week, I asked Sanders' advisor, Tad Devine, if pulling back on Hillary's emails was the best strategy. Why didn't your guy jump on the email thing? Let me put it this way. Why did he give it away? Why didn't he just say, you know what, I'm tired of hearing about the damn thing. Why didn't he just let it lie there, let the Republicans and the FBI do their thing? Why did he pull it back out of action? Because give her a break on that.
Well, I don't know if he gave her a break. I mean,
sure he did.
Because Bernie Sanders is convinced that if we have a real debate on issues that voters care about, he's going to win this election. That's why. And if we have debates about other issues that they don't care as much about, his chances of winning are diminished.
Okay. But now the Vermont senator is sharpening his attacks on the former Secretary of State. The Wall Street Journal's headline today says Bernie Sanders takes the gloves off against Hillary Clinton. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Sanders was asked again about Clinton's email saga, and he said, quote, "There's an investigation going on right now. I did not say end the investigation. That's silly. Let the investigation proceed unimpeded." Well, Sanders also said Clinton's inconsistent positions on issues like the trade deal, quote, "does speak to the character of a person." He also questioned her positions on super PACs, the Keystone Pipeline, gay marriage, and the Iraq War. Here he is on NPR.
When people consider a candidate, it is important to understand their history, how they responded in crisis situations, how they responded when the decisions that they made were not necessarily the popular decision. I remember like it was yesterday, the war in Iraq. I remember almost every editorial page in America saying, yeah, we should go to war. The Bush administration, public opinion polls say, yeah, let's go to war. I voted against it. Hillary Clinton voted the other way.
Well, the Clinton campaign released a statement today saying, quote, "It's disappointing Senator Sanders and his campaign strategists have chosen to change direction and engage in the type of personal attacks that they previously said he wouldn't do." We're back with the Hardball Roundtable. April, John, and Kerry. April, again, back to you, right across the table here. And anybody jump in here. It seems like he feels like he's made a mistake, that he gave her a free ride on that one.
He feels like he's made a mistake, but he will never let you know that. He's going to keep on playing it there. Even the campaign saying, you know, he talked about this even before the debate. But, you know, he's making
Can he be above the battle and still be in the battle?
He could be above the fray and still fight, but he's got to fight strategically. But he made a mistake trying to talk about her factual backing away from things or backpedaling, because we've had presidents who pulled back. We've got this president who, because of conditions right now with Iraq, he cannot just take troops away.
What conditions caused Hillary Clinton to change on TPP?
She was working. Wait a minute. She was working with him.
President? Carrie, go with that.
She was working with him on that, though. That's the crazy thing. I'm in agreement with you,
I agree with Bernie Sanders, like, yeah, on the gay marriage issue, and Democrats in general. It's like the president, you know, he said it was a moral issue, why he was opposed to it, and then eventually he came around.
Yeah, but running for president, there's so many now that Hillary has moved to the left on because of Bernie Sanders. He could take credit for it and say, look, I know why she's coming over here. I'm here, and I'm doing well.
I don't think it hurts her in a primary that much to have changed position on some of these things. In some ways, it can help her. If the unions look at her and they say she was not really for us on this trade thing, and we beat the hell out of her, and she did what we wanted, that could be good for her with the union voters.
Isn't that interesting the way you described it? I like the way you said that, because in the end, they want you with you.
Right. They want you to vote the way they want you to vote, and if you're willing to do that, it doesn't really to them. They don't care.
They don't care what kind of Norma Ray you are.
Right.
Just be a Norma Ray. But what about this thing with Bernie shifting?
Well, I don't know.
Bernie shifting and saying, I made a mistake. I should have been a little tougher. I should have kept the email on the skillet.
Yeah, well, I think he is, like you said, he's trying to have it both ways, because that debate moment was actually incredibly potent for him.
For the minute. Look at his numbers after the debate. I judge debates not by how much applause there is during the debate. It's how the numbers look afterwards, and I think he gave away a big part of his game.
He did, especially because it's a federal investigation. This isn't just a right-wing hack job, which is what the Clintons are trying to make it out to be. This is a FBI. Who controls the FBI? The Obama administration. So,
well, I wouldn't say you're acting like they interfere with it.
No, well, I'm saying, like,
do you think the president? Oh, you're in this now. Do you think the president calls up Loretta Lynch and says, "Squeeze him or don't squeeze him, pull back"? Do you think he'd be stupid enough, whatever your politics, that the president would risk having any transmission of information from him to the Attorney General about that case?
Justice is blind at the end of the day.
Thank you. That's what I thought. So don't say it's under his control.
I'm just saying.
Taking it off the table was stupid for him, because what happened after the debate is that basically all the momentum he had going into that debate has been lost.
Explain why.
Because Hillary looked like she was the winner.
It also looked like he wasn't really trying to beat her.
Yeah.
I just think, honestly, he was just being honest, and it was a slip that reflected a thought.
Yeah.
And he just went with, I'm serious, he was just being honest. He said, I'm tired of it.
Well, you know what? It ain't for amateurs. You're Dr. Carson, that guy. You've been between the breaks telling me you think he's great. Tell me what I'm missing about Carson.
You know, he's intelligent. And of
course he is.
But wait a minute. One thing he's saying, I don't understand this myself, the fact that he's on a book tour and he's supposed to be running for president, but he says he's got this ground game and he's listening to the people. And the people seem to be loving him. Yeah. Thousands of people are going to see him. I don't know.
I don't get it either. I admit, I'm supposed to be an expert at this after all these years, and I don't get it. I'm lost on this one.
I think he's the alter ego to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is
crass.
Crass. So I know lots of evangelicals, they don't like Donald Trump from a moral position. They think that he isn't one of them.
He has not quoted scripture yet. Ben Carson is.
And that's why. So that's why he's the favorite in Iowa. I think
he's the Pat Robertson. He's the Rick Santorum, all wrapped up into one, and a smarter guy than all of them probably. Don't forget, I'll be in South Carolina tomorrow night.